Namaste, sentient being, citizen of Gotham. It is Friday, May 29th, 2015. Thanks for stopping by and tuning in. I do appreciate it. Hope all of you are well and enjoying yourselves and are safe in these very crazy times. Activist posts, the TPP, Monsanto, Rockefeller, Trilateral Commission, and Brzezinski. It also correlates to the CFR, which is the Council of Foreign Relations, also Agenda 21, the TPP, the TPA. It goes on, people, and the PNAC. So to give you some background quickly before I just go into this article, Trilateral Commission is a non-governmental, nonpartisan, that's funny, discussion group founded by David Rockefeller in July 1973 to foster closer cooperation among North America, Western Europe, and Japan. Rockefeller is a draconian reptile, regardless of what people want to think. He helps rule this world along with the subordinate Illuminati, the hybrid Illuminati. And the Trilateral Commission, it's funny that they're nonpartisan, because nonpartisan means they're one-sided, bipartisan means they're two-sided. They're both bad. You want to have all parties presented, which would be a republic. But anyway, this is their homepage. You can see all these draconians and their disgustingness. If you want to go onto their website, all these links, as usual, will be in the description box. This is Trilateral Commission, which is what they're about, their PDF. I found their PDF. You can always find stuff online. Of course, maybe some of the truistic aspects of all these PDFs will not be out there, but for the most part, you can find certain things on people or on entities. Council of Foreign Relations, CFR, was founded in 1921 in the United States, non-for-profit, or nonprofit 4,900-member organization, publisher, and quote-unquote think tank specializing in United States foreign policy and international affairs, headquartered in New York City, which is unfortunate, with an additional office in Washington, D.C. They talk about the memberships, who they include. This is their website, which will be in the description box again. Look at all the things they have there, right? Interesting, right? This is their PDF. There's also the PNAC, which is a Project for a New American Century, which for the longest time, their website, which is here, was not on. They actually had changed it. This wasn't their original homepage. They had actually changed it. But anyway, or this is their about page, but their website used to be a little different, and it was taken off for many years. It actually ran to probably 2005, 2006, maybe 2007, then it disappeared for a while, and I couldn't find it. And I just happened upon it today, so it's kind of interesting that it's back. You see this little thing here, hijacking catastrophe. This is a great about 2-hour, maybe an hour and a half documentary that I saw in the theaters back in the day when it came out. It's about 9/11 and the falsities of that. It's 1,000 times better than that movie by that fat guy with the beard who, South Park always makes fun of. Everyone thinks he's this great director. He's a piece of shit, lack of a better word. Anyway, this is a lot better. This is just regular people that documented all this stuff. And did tremendous amounts of work to find out this information. I highly recommend watching it. You might be able to find it online and rent it for $4 or $5. If not, I don't think they charge more than $7 or $8 for the movie. Even if they charge $10, $12, to me, you can spend $15 to see Batman. You can spend $10, $12 to learn something about the mendacities of our government and complicity of them. This is also, I put it in there because it mentions Richard Clarke, which most people may or may not remember. He gave testimony about how the government knew about things. He worked for the government. He was head of security. He also warned about cyber stuff, and now he works in cyber security. It's a very good book. This is one of probably 60 or 70 books that I read from 2001 to like 2005 on, or 2006 on the 9/11 PSYOP. It was a false flag originally, which is a false provocation of war, but then turned into a PSYOP because they had to convince everyone of what they saw, but it was a false flag. This is the TPP, which also ties into it, PDF about that, which also ties into the TPA, because now the TPP, which didn't get put through, got repackaged inside the TPA, and then that got fast-tracked in. Amazing. And this is the Agenda 21, which is also about sustainable development, which is about basically the 4 sections are about taking over everything in the world and rationing everything to us, the plebeians, the commoners. Irrespective of all that, all hands on deck for global economic corporate dictatorship. There are dots to connect here. They're real and they're spectacular. Let me begin with the brief exchange from 1978 interview conducted by reporter Jeremiah Novak. He was speaking with 2 American members of the Trilateral Commission, a group founded in 1973 by David Rockefeller, draconian, and his intellectual flunky, whatever his name is, Brzezinski, another draconian piece of shit. Novak, yes, but why does doesn't President Carter come out with it and tell the American people that the United States economic and political power is being coordinated by a Trilateral Commission committee made up of Henry Owen and 6 others? After all, if the United States policy is being made on multinational level, the people should know about it. Of course, that's what I said. All these people in government are puppets. They are puppets. The Trilateral Commission, the CFR, the Council of Foreign Relations, the Bilderberg Group, they are all mostly hybrid Illuminatis for the most part, and they are working under in subordination to the draconians who tell them what to do, and then they put it forth in the humanistic standpoint because they're all hybrids, and then they give it to the puppets who are usually hybrids as well, that put it forth to the general public, meaning us, the plebeians, the commoners, who think that the government is there for us and protecting us and need the vote, and the voting is real, and the fiat money system is real, and we all need to work, and we need to pay for our land, and need to pay for energy, and need to pay for water, and need to pay for food, and we have to work, and materialism, capitalism, what founded this country, and America. All brain damage mendacities, unfortunately, that people subscribe to. The power of a lie is huge. Hitler said that the bigger the lie, the easier it is to believe it. And I also think he expounded to a certain extent, to paraphrase something about, I don't know if he was the one to say it, but about telling a lie so many times, you keep saying it over and over again, people believe it's true. I don't know if that was him, but I know from reading Mein Kampf, which is an interesting book to read because you see how crazy he is, or how wacky he was, that he definitely said, to paraphrase, the bigger the lie, the easier it is for people to accept it. The more grand it is, the more insane it is, the more likely people will believe it. Henceforth, 9/11, right? Richard Cooper, Trilateral Commission member. President Carter and Secretary of State Vance have constantly alluded to this in their speeches. Kaiser, Trilateral Commission member. It just hasn't become an issue. Source: Trilateralism, Trilateral Commission, and Elite Planning for World Management by Holly Sklar, I don't know how to pronounce that last name, 1980, pages 192 to 193. This through the looking-glass moment summed up the casual arrogance of trilateral members. Of course, the United States government was in the hands of trilateralists, what else would you expect? The United States government policy most certainly covers the area of international trade. The Cooper and Kaiser were foreshadowing blockbuster trade treaties to come, for example, NAFTA, GATT, which established the World Trade Organization, CAFTA, and now the Trans-Pacific Partnership, the TPP, also now the TPA, and also Agenda 21, which is being negotiated in secret among 12 nations responsible for a major amount of the world trade and world GDP, gross domestic product, which again, in 2001, Saudi Arabia, the country of Saudi Arabia, and the royalty that runs that country, owned 3% of the GDP. I would argue that it's probably 10 or 12% now. You're talking 14 years ago. It's probably at least double for common sense. It might even be triple what it was. So that would be 9%. And those are probably low numbers for the people who love numbers. So that's a tremendous amount to own 10% of the gross domestic product that goes to this country for the hundreds of billions, and I repeat, the hundreds of billions of dollars that they loan America. And they're loaning real money because it's usually gold and stuff anyway. Here are two key trilateral quotes that reflect the global outlook, by which I mean a world dominated by mega corporations, which is another thing for the TPP that I just mentioned. The nation state as a fundamental union of man's organized life has ceased to be the principal creative force. International banks, which are global bankers or global banks, and multinational corporations are acting and planning in terms that are far in advance of the political concepts of the nation state. Brzezinski, 1969. Way back when we landed on the moon, right? We touched landing on the moon. Right, of course. Brzezinski was Obama's foreign policy mentor after Obama won the presidency in 2008. Any doubt of the question of Trilateral Commission goals is answered by David Rockefeller himself, the founder of Trilateral Commission, in his memoirs 2003, which was probably a best-selling book or autobiography, in which he probably made hundreds of millions of dollars off of as well. Some even believe we are part of a secret cabal working against the best interests of the United States, characterizing my family, piece of shit family reptilians that they are, as me as the internationalists, and of conspiring while others around the world to build a more integrated global political and economic structure. One world, if you will. If that's the charge, I stand guilty, and I am proud of it. How much more honest can these people be? They tell you, we are going to bend you over and sodomize you, and what are you going to do about it? And we just go, okay. It's amazing. We are just as big of the problem as the problem itself, because we are complicit in it. If someone is beating the shit out of a child and you sit there and watch it, you are complicit. If someone's beating the shit out of a woman, I'm not saying I believe in hitting women, but if a woman starts attacking you, I think you have a right to defend yourself. I'm not saying you have to kill her or beat her up. some woman comes flailing at you with a knife trying to cut you out, I think you should have the right to knock her down, at least slap her. If she comes at you again, punch her and then knock her down. I mean, I believe in self-preservation. I don't believe that, anyway, I don't want to digress too much, but the point I'm making is, if you stand by and watch something that's unjustified, you're complicit in it. Therefore, you might as well join in and do it. Integrated global political and economic structure means domination of populations via giant corporations. Here is the payoff. The current USA Trade Representative appointed by Obama in 2013, who is responsible for negotiating the TPP with 11 other countries, is Michael Froman, a member of the Trilateral Commission. Don't let the word former fool you. Trilateral Commission members resign when they take positions of executive branch of the government, therefore they're still in the whatever said entity. And when they serve in vital positions such as the United States Trade Representative, they aren't there by accident. Their Trilateral Commission operatives with a specific agenda. The TPP is a major item on the Trilateral to-do list. Make no mistake about it. Let's move along to Monsanto, one of those mega corporations that Trilateralists fervently favor. From 2001 to 2008, a man named Islam Siddiqui was a staunch USA lobbyist for Vice President of Crop Life America. Siddiqui represented Monsanto, BSFA, Bayer, Dow, DuPont, Syngenta, the biggest and most aggressive biotech GMO corporations in the world. On October 21st of 2011, Siddiqui's new appointment by Obama was confirmed. He became the federal government's chief agricultural negotiator and served in that position until he resigned on December 12, 2013. During his tenure, Siddiqui, Monsanto's man, was up to his ears in negotiating the TPP. On April 22, 2009, Siddiqui addressed the press in the United States State Department briefing disingenuously titled Green Revolution. And if you're wondering, well, if they run the world, why do they need all these laws and mandates and acts? That is to make it look good to the rest of the people. They like legalese, they like performing all these things. It's part of the ritual for them. So it has nothing to do whether we accept it or don't agree with it. It's all a game to them. This is a game of life, whatever you want to do, playing poker, playing blackjack, whatever you want to say. They're playing the game, like Monopoly. And there's certain things they want to do which are all ritualistic. So making these proclamations, making these these documents, and pushing them forth on certain dates is all part of the ritual. They will get put forth regardless. What we need out in the 21st century is another revolution. We would not do it just by conventional breeding. You need to have use of the 21st century technologies, including biotechnology, genetic GMO technology, and these molecules which are being used in Audible. Sorry, I should have skipped that. These are statements of the art technologies using molecular biology, especially in the chemicals, pesticides. They have less harsh footprint on the environment. They are more green in terms of adverse effects and ecological effects that are also tested more thoroughly. Siddiqui is a disinformation pro. For example, the most widely used pesticide in the world deployed in conjunction with Monsanto GMO crops was tested so thoroughly for safety that it is now declared a probable carcinogen by the World Health Organization. Well, that's great. You may have heard it in Roundup. So Roundup is the carcinogen by the WHO that was deemed safe when it isn't. Siddiqui's tenure negotiating U.S. interest in the TPP surely favored big biotech and all the companies who make their living selling GMO crop seeds and pesticides. The predicted outcome of the TPP vis-a-vis GMOs is obvious. It's obvious. Nations who resist the importation of GMO food crops will be sued in private tribunals for interfering with free trade. That's why the TPP is a disgusting act that's going to change the face of America, amongst the other things that will follow right directly behind it in a caboose fashion. This is the future writ large unless the TPP is derailed. See, they use the railroad analogy as I just did. Woohoo! Consider the local movement in Hawaii's Maui County, where in the last election citizens voted to back long-standing Monsanto Dow experimentation with GMOs and their intended pesticides until an independent investigation could assess the health effects of those reckless open-air activities. Monsanto immediately sued to suspend the force of the vote, successfully obtained an injunction. Amazingly, how the hell did they do that? Money, money, money. And the case has been hung up in federal court ever since. Well, also the federal court, the maritime system that it is all headed by draconians, and everyone is paid and playing the same game. Under the TPP, all successful local community actions against GMOs and their pesticides anywhere in the 12 member countries would be viewed per se as obstructions to free trade, and instead of engaging the public a messy court battle, corporations could simply sue or threaten to sue the offending member country in a private tribunal, automatically defeat the local communities, and win a cash judgment. That's all TPP should. Attempts to label GMOs and previous laws allowing labeling in various countries could be arbitrarily cancelled. Consider the recent astounding action of the U.S. trade representatives in Europe using yet another disastrous trade treaty under negotiation, the TTIP, Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership. The United States trade reps pressured the European Union, EU, to modify its stance on pesticides. The Guardian, May 22, 2015 headline and tag said it all. The EU dropped pesticide laws due to the United States pressure over TTIP. Documents show the United States trade officials pushed the European Union to shelve action on endocrine disrupting chemicals linked to cancer and male infertility to facilitate TTIP free trade deal. Note, this repressive and criminal action didn't even involve a treaty that had been ratified. The pressure was all about the so-called positive economic impact that TTIP would have when passed for Europe. And in the face of that money benefit and the threat of its removal by ditching the TTIP negotiations, we would dare curb the import and use of chemicals and achieve something as minor as disrupting human endocrine system and causing male infertility and cancer. This is the sort of judgment we can look forward to if and when the TPP and the TTIP are ratified. This is in the face of corporate globalism. This is in the face of globalist Trilateral Commission. Recently, U.S. Senator Jeff Sessions broke the code of silence on what is forbidden to be disclosed in the TPP treaty. His most pungent revelation concerned living agreements, thus giving new meaning to the term bait and switch. Living agreements are arbitrary changes that can be made by the treaty by President Fiat without consulting Congress after the treaty has been ratified. That's right. In other words, the treaty is the treaty until it isn't, until it's something more, something different, something worse, something that empowers mega corporations to a greater degree than previously negotiated. Because these corporations, those Monsanto and Dow's and Syngenta's, wouldn't want to miss a trick, wouldn't want to forego suddenly realizing how they can exert even more dominance, would they? Barbara Cicero offers a powerful clue about what's to come if the TPP is ratified. Occupy Monsanto. Trade agreements have a historic history of displacing small farmers and destroying local food economies. 10 years following the passage of NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement, 1.5 million Mexican farmers became bankrupt only because they could not compete with the highly subsidized United States corn entering the Mexican market. So they killed the whole country's agricultural dependency and profit by just taking over and usurping them, whatever you want to say. In the same 10 years, Mexico went from a country producing virtually all of its own corn, to a country that now imports at least half of its food staple. Mexican consumers are now paying high prices for Monsanto GMO corn, and it also will kill them and give them brain damage. It isn't just GMOs. Suppose a United States pharmaceutical company decides to export a new drug to Japan or Australia or Canada, all members of the TPP. And suppose the drug is highly toxic. And suppose the government of all of those nations object, the U.S. company could sue, win a huge dollar judgment, and force the export to go through anyway. As I've written in previous articles, the details of the TPP negotiations and the text of the TPP are secret. Government officials in the member nations are not allowed to know all the details of the treaty, nor are they permitted to reveal what they know to the public. So much for transparency, as Obama always talks about, which he lies about. This is an oligarchy dictatorship of corporations on a global scale, along with the purposeful dumb show played out by government officials. I don't even know how much about what's in the trade treaty, and if I did, I couldn't tell you. So far, Senator Sessions is the only exception. Those people who still believe that one world united, delivered to us by the powers that be, will lead to a better life for all, need to put that fairy tale away and see the underlying framework and the underlying betrayal. The globalist trilateral community aims to destroy the rights and power of all communities and ultimately destroy all people who still have a grip on the word freedom. This is grinning nightmare descending in the long night, professing to help us all, claiming to know the details of the better living through chemistry, asserting that trade treaties couldn't harm a flea. Television news assures us that, at worst, this is just another he said, she said debate. Nothing to worry about. Move along, right? Be happy, march forward, eyes closed, mouth shut, mind quiet. Yes, it is. Crazy stuff. Anyway, all these things will be in the description box, all links I talked about. Thanks for stopping by. Be well, stay balanced. Namaste.